Good morning, my dear friends. We're visiting the gardens from the Wow Garden project again, and just like in the first part, in this second part we're starting with Beata's garden. We're at Beata's Garden Treasures, but today we'll show you other parts of this garden, and we'll especially focus on what to do to make hydrangeas beautiful. Beata will tell us her ways to make hydrangeas beautiful. We'll also show you some places in the garden that we haven't shown before because we wanted to save them for this second visit. Look, in the background we have fantastic Joe Pye weed, goldenrod, hydrangeas, lots of coneflowers, and already those wonderful autumn colors. There's really a lot going on, so I encourage you to stay with us. We're going to Beata in just a moment, and in the meantime you can subscribe to this channel. If you haven't done it yet, write in the comments whether you're even watching the Wow Garden Project series. This is already the third season we're doing, and I'm already encouraging you for the next season, so you can already sign up, apply, because now is the right time. Remember to take pictures of your garden and send them to the email address collaboration@gmail.com. Good morning. Hi.
Welcome.
How is your gardening season going?
Very quickly. A little too little summer, although the heat is really bothering me.
But have you already been on vacation?
I was, and when I returned, I felt a bit sad, but it wasn't a tragedy.
After vacation, I didn't want to look at the garden, but I see some changes in the back here at your place. Yes.
We've made some changes to the garden. Are these changes necessary? Here in the back, I have an obelisk. I got it from my girls, from my friends in the gardening business. It's a gift from my friends.
I heard that you meet regularly.
Yes, we meet up. We have our trips, whether it's to nurseries or just a cycle from one garden to another, so it's nice. But I'll just add here that the husband of one of my friends actually made these obelisks for me by hand.
That's great. What will grow under them?
Of course. Clematis.
Clematis. So he kept his fingers crossed for them to grow, because sometimes it takes a while for them to cover such a big obelisk.
Yeah, that's right. I think that here, since one is already planted, I think one more of the same variety will be good.
It will be planted, yes. Listen, this is fantastic news that there are such gardening groups and people meet up, because it's not the first time I've heard a story like this, that we met, I don't know, 5 or 7 people. Yes? Different things come up at these meetings. People come with big bundles of new plants. Yes?
And the exchange and everything, it's like fuel for a gardener. It gives you wings. After such a meeting, that's how my rose garden was created, but I mentioned that in the episode.
Previous one. But since we're on the topic of bringing in new plants, I'm curious if anything new has appeared in your garden, and soon we'll go and you'll tell us about it. All right. I'm rubbing my hands together, I am, because these new things are something I really love. And now, what's here? Well, go ahead and tell us about it. Well,
yes, there are a few new things in my garden. This is Sanguisorba officinalis. This plant was purchased and was supposed to be half the height, so it was planted, you could say, closer to the edge.
We know the evening Gedamski in your flower bed reached 2 meters, so, well...
Exactly. It seems dry, but it turns out that some plants are really doing well here, so I bought it because I really like this plant. It looks great in bouquets, and since I enjoy making them, it's perfect for me.
I'm not saying anything because I already told Beata that this is absolutely my most favorite, beloved plant. Thanks to this plant, I started my adventure. But when it comes to wildflower bouquets that cost nothing, I just love Sanguisorba officinalis. It's a fantastic plant, so I'm really glad you decided to bring Sanguisorba officinalis into your garden. And honestly, I haven't seen it grow taller than me. Well,
exactly. It was supposed to look a little different. I think next year it will just move a bit further into the border.
Well, it might turn out that it's some kind of hybrid that's been a bit altered. Well, see you. Andre Lobos, new things in the garden are not just individual plants, but also some combinations of these plants. We came here because I personally liked it a lot, and you say that soon you'll have such a combination in your garden as well. Tell me, what's here?
Yes, I'm always making changes. Every year my plants move around, but I guess that's normal. Here we have garlic, and we have showy stonecrop, coneflower, and also fountain grass.
Millennium garlic is a type of garlic that blooms last. All the other garlics have finished blooming and are forgotten, but we still have millennium.
Yes, this is actually the second year I've had this plant. I'm surprised by how long it blooms and its blooming season overall, since those garlics definitely, first the millennium ones, beautiful, right?
The first ones, yes, yes.
Then those round-headed garlics actually in my garden, and here is just a little beauty.
And it's a great combination with this sedum because they have the same structure really, just in a different color and a slightly different form. So here we have a spherical form and here we have a rather flat one. And the echinacea in this mix will look good in any color, right? Because both the white ones and the more purple ones. And as for the grass, well, it's obvious. In autumn arrangements, fountain grass will definitely stand out, exactly.
I was about to say that this combination is already quite autumnal. Well,
Autumnal, but autumn is coming, so
garden.
autumn is just as beautiful. The autumn garden is truly beautiful. In your little corner, is it fiery or autumnal?
Yes, the fiery flower bed. Well,
The colors there are really nice, so fiery and really autumnal. What are they like? Tips, solutions, and good advice for everyone so that hydrangeas bloom beautifully. Many viewers here and on Instagram ask me, listen, Hubert Lemansky, our hydrangeas aren't blooming. Of course, there are many cases like this, but what's really the main reason? Tell us.
well, with hydrangeas, it's like this. Mine were blooming very poorly, and I decided to really take action with them here.
Yes,
So right from spring, starting with pruning, so that,
it is done properly.
yes, and then fertilizing. I always used a multi-component fertilizer, applying it only in spring and then adding some autumn fertilizer. That was it. This year, as I said, I got determined with them. They were supposed to look better, and they do.
Last year.
Yeah, here I used a multi-component fertilizer. I had granulated manure and flora humus.
Which is important because that's what you said, that most people think that if they give fertilizer for hydrangeas in the spring and then again in the fall, that's enough. Hydrangeas need fertilizer when their flower buds are already formed, when the stems are a bit longer, because that's when they build up the mass of the flower. That's when they're like this, not just here. We'll show more soon. You have the vanilla phrase variety, right? Yes. It's not as colored in this spot yet because there's more of it. Here,
It's a little bit shady here.
but elsewhere, it's already very autumn-like.
It's pink. But here, in addition, we can't forget about the water. Although no matter how much fertilizer we use, if the plant doesn't have water, it simply won't absorb it. So I'm not going to lie, I watered my hydrangeas.
Well, hydrangea, which means water flower,
There isn't any
option. It has to absorb water. So,
water, fertilizer, and most importantly, proper pruning. Well,
yes, pruning, because in the case of the garden hydrangea, the pruning has to be solid, strong, proper, and at the right time. Meaning, before the buds start to grow, we prune the hydrangeas. Some people prune in the fall and some prune in March or February, and actually any time is good. Well,
I, for example, prune my Annabelle hydrangeas at the end of November, sometimes even in December if the weather allows. And they have stiffer, thicker stems. So actually pruning in the fall is also fine.
that's a great tip, that we prune Annabelle hydrangeas this year at the end of the year so that next year they'll be beautiful and sturdy. Beata, are you preparing for autumn garden tasks yet? Cutting out different things, trimming already, the final pruning of some perennials?
You know how it is with time? For some reason, there just isn't much of it. Yes, I prepare in my free time. I'm already trimming something so, well,
Exactly, because I'm bringing it up since I wanted to ask how the gift we brought you from NAK worked out for you, those cordless hedge trimmers. Did you trim the hedge?
I trimmed my barberries, spiraeas, and here we have an arborvitae. I have to say, trimming goes much faster and more smoothly for me than with regular shears. And most importantly, I don't have any cords getting tangled between my legs here. Yes, so it's really nice.
You also have the version with the movable head, so it works really well.
And when I was cutting barberries, it was really useful for me, like I said, very quick.
And efficiently, no.
I didn't get tired, let me put it that way.
But I see you still have uncut lavender. This is really the last moment.
Well, like I said, time is what it is.
With these scissors, I think you'll get it done very quickly, so
I'm glad.
I'm glad they came in handy.
They came in handy, thank you.
Beata, how much time do you spend in the garden to take care of the whole place?
That also depends on the year. This year it's quite dry, so I spend the most time watering. However, the garden overall isn't that small, so I do have to spend a bit of time here.
The garden is quite big. You probably already saw that in the first episode we recorded at Beata's place. If you haven't seen it, we encourage you to watch. If you want more, since we can't show everything, I invite you to Beata's YouTube and Instagram. What's it called?
You're warmly invited, Garden Treasures, and on
both, on YouTube and on Instagram, you'll find Beata under the nickname Garden Treasures. That's why I encourage you. Why? Well, because after our late summer visits, once we visited all the gardens, we organize a vote for the most beautiful garden according to the viewers of this channel. So you need to take a good look, watch everything, and then vote. In the garden, besides working, we came to your spot to relax and sit for a while. But we won't just sit here. We'll also take action. Because according to tradition, as part of the Wow Garden project, in the second episodes, we always make a bouquet for $0. So a bouquet like that, an arrangement, straight from the plants, from the gardens. And that's a challenge for me, isn't it? Do you make bouquets yourself?
Yes, I like to.
So do you cut plants from the gardens?
Plants. I don't mind that there are fewer of them in the flower bed because that's what we have the garden for, to make us happy. And if, for example, I don't have time to spend in the garden, then I simply bring the garden into the house in the form of a bouquet.
I see that you're already equipped with pruning shears. So the challenge will be that Beata will go into the garden, choose the plants, and bring them to me so that I can create a bouquet. I'll look at them and think, all right, I need to pick something else, and then I'll go and cut something more. But Beata has already gotten a sponge and your favorite little container. It's small, so I hope she won't pick many hydrangeas here. And in this very container, I'll make an arrangement in the sponge this time. Yes, so are you heading to the garden?
I'm heading to the garden. I'll surprise you with something here. I'm holding it.
Fingers crossed it's suitable. As part of this initiative, a bouquet for Zeros Lotus, I've always wanted to show you that really you can make some kind of arrangement out of any plant, out of any plants. And you can make this arrangement in any container. Is this a container? Where from?
A friend wanted to throw it away, and since I liked it, I took it.
Where would you throw away such a dish? Oh, it's beautiful. It's not big, so the arrangement shouldn't be too large. Unless we treat it in such a way that we cover this, and this will just be our base, and then we'll make the arrangement. Well, Beata spared me. She only picked such tiny, delicate flowers.
Tiny, tiny, but look how beautiful they are.
Great. We'll discuss their types soon. A sponge for soaking. So now I'll take the pruner and I'll pick two or three plants. And then I'll come back here and we'll create this arrangement. Beata brought the flowers, so in a moment I'll also talk about the plants that are here. I grabbed and picked some dahlias. I picked some spent, beautiful, arching goat's beard. A bit of clematis. Really not much, but also an anemone that's already finished blooming and one that's not yet blooming. Look at how beautiful its flower buds are. Now tell us what you brought here. So we have this. Well,
Of course, Sanguisorba, well,
obviously.
as I know that's how
You like him? Favorite, that's right. Some little rose.
roses. Next, we have knotweed here
Millet
and lizard's tail,
and
and also vervain. And
vervain grows in every garden. Lately, that's the impression I get, so it's worth using it to show how to use it. I'll give this to you, you'll hand me things, and I'll start working here. And in the meantime, of course, I'll be asking you more questions. I'll be asking you, tell me, did you encounter any difficulties in the garden this year? Please. Is there a challenge?
hops that seeded itself from the neighboring plot. I feel like if I don't pull it out for 2 seasons, then it's already over.
You won't pull it out anymore.
So I walk around, I pull it off the bushes because hops are quite an expansive, strong vine. So all the bushes, especially here in the plantings by the drainage ditch, they can be bent in half. So I walk around.
I pull it off. It's like a killer, right?
Yes, yes. So unfortunately, the plants get damaged by the hops.
Do hops grow everywhere? No, we have many hops here in Lubashchizna, but not everywhere. A hops basin, but hops aren't everywhere. And it really is a big problem because I've heard more than once that hops actually overwhelm and take over.
It grows on tuha, shrubs and perennials.
It can even kill a large tree, right? So that's quite a challenge. And is there something that surprised you in a positive way?
Probably those hydrangeas I was talking about. Because this year I really focused on making those hydrangeas have bigger flowers to make them sturdier, and it actually worked. I'm really happy about that.
Great! In the meantime, of course, I'm working on this composition here. As I mentioned, I'll make a composition that's fairly regular, but the flowers will be at different levels. Some deeper, some higher. And it's important that the sponge is soaked, of course, because it will provide water for us here. The plants will absorb water from it. You brought me the heart here, but I see that you've already nicely
Faked it like that.
because when I imagined such a big heart, I was like, no, hold on. Knowing
That the vessel isn't too big then?
yes, but look, see, when I put them in deeper, they make a nice base for us somewhere deep here. They fill it up. Even though it's a great plant, something still has to be a filler. And since we have a lot of other wonderful, delicate, subtle things, well, we have to use something as a filler. And we chose sadziek. Yes.
I don't have baby's breath, so, well...
Baby's breath. And recently I actually asked a question about a plant in my garden. And everyone said it was baby's breath, but it wasn't. And I
know what it is.
No, it was statics, broad-leaved. Fantastic. Look, we're actually using almost every plant from the garden, just like I said at the very beginning. Clematis, which was beautiful when it bloomed, is also beautiful as it fades. So you can absolutely use it and pull it out nicely at different levels because it will fit in very well here. It will do very well here. I just have a bit of a concern about this millet, that it might stick out too much, but I can trim it a little, give it a proper haircut. However, I really like the leaves of this millet. We'll see, they'll nicely pull these proportions down for us here. So I'll put the millet in different spots. It'll fill in and show off the leaves. And at the end, something I brought will be added, which is goat's beard, very autumn-like, very,
I leave it, I leave it on the flowers after they bloom. That moment after blooming isn't great because the flowers are white and then they turn ugly and brown. But when the flower heads reach that stage, when they're already faded, I really like it. It's super.
Especially when it droops like that, since it doesn't always droop that much.
I prefer leaving the flowers as they are. If I cut them, only leaves would be left in the flower bed.
Those leaves are usually already a little bit affected by some fungus, something here and there.
Yes, tired from the season.
Exhausted from the season, exactly. Look how beautiful it is. It's already very nice. This plant itself, I'll cut it because I don't think I can handle such a big one. And we add it. Look, it dries nicely. You can also color it. Look how it creates a nice little veil over everything here. So rustic. We went for this rustic gold, I would say, because these plants with such a rustic character really look phenomenal. Because this vessel has such a nice waves. They can also be used so that from these places, those can hang nicely. These inflorescences, I have to look down here a bit because from above I can't see. I'm still missing the top here. I think I need to add one more small rose here. All right, we'll go pick it in a moment, but of course there's also burnet. Burnet, which will be sticking out in different places. Well, just like
it's in the garden, it has to be.
Yes, that's essential, especially today. Generally, it works well in bouquets and is very durable, especially if you pick it at the right moment, meaning at the right stage of blooming and, of course, at the right time of day, preferably in the morning. We didn't cut them in the morning, but I think it will do better here than other plants. Actually, that's a question right away. Let me know if you're on the team that cuts flowers from the garden and uses them for decoration or not. There are many people who don't because they believe that plants should stay in the garden. But I absolutely am.
I'm in favor.
I'm in favor too. Look, this succulent knotweed, which actually looks so inconspicuous because it is inconspicuous. Of course, it's in the flower bed. It looks great in such a mass. But it can give us this effect here that if we're missing some height or shape somewhere, if we add it properly, it will fix everything for us here. So actually we can make it into a plant that will create a contour for us. The decoration's contour. I still have some left and I'm drawing more blood. For now, I'm still considering it. About putting this in. Knotweed. We need to add something on top to fill it, but I'll handle that in a moment and get more roses. We'll add it and I think it'll be ready. Just remember to cover the sponge. Verbena, in this case, can also help us make some light filling for our arrangement. All right, we'll definitely need some sage and some verbena. It's still tough to get it right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard. I imagined it would be really tiny. That's why I put so little on the body.
But it is tiny. No.
I'm not being stingy with you. The bouquet stays.
Exactly. This will be for you. I'll
cut it for you.
So, but no, it's always worth it because you brought only such little pieces, right? Those little pieces are great. I especially like them, but the composition needs a focal point. Here are these dahlias and these roses, which are still a bit, so they don't really draw our attention. But the dahlias, I think I still need to grab one more dahlia from somewhere and pick it. They give us a nice focal point here and add some character, right? I name too many because I tend to overdo things.
And I do too little.
Do it big.
All right.
Which plant did I add here? Also, let us know if you are making a composition, and we will slowly start saying goodbye. It was nice, wasn't it? Of course. I hope it was nice. I really enjoyed being able to see this garden here, and I was also very glad to be able to show you this garden and to invite you to Beata's YouTube channel and Instagram. So thank you very much.
And thank you. It was a real pleasure to host you.
May it grow as much as possible, just like they are growing.
Hydrangeas.
See you. Bye.
See you.